As you can see, a few cars behind me and my voice is on its arse completely as we are wrapping up another event. This time it was round number 2 of the Farm Jams out here at the back door of Middelburg, Rysmierbult. An amazing venue, but let's talk about what happened the previous week because we've been in edit making magic happen for you guys. This is what went down at GXCC last weekend. It was an amazing one from Rysmierbult.
Round number 2 of the GXCC Championship rolled out to the classic race venue of Rysmierbult. A 50-50 track, always one of the favorites on the tour. Varied terrain is what it's all about. Yeah, it can be pretty tough, but it can be awesome at the same time. Round 2 was good to go.
Second round of the GXCCs out here at Rysmierbult. Vian, we've got some pretty decent entries and some good conditions to work with here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we noticed that the entries are pretty much the same as what it was for the first round, and we're glad to see that the quads have grown a little bit more than the last time. So yeah, quite excited to be back here.
Let's get down to the pits and chat to the guys before the morning race.
Yeah, I'm actually happy about the throwaway. Now I can hopefully win the race and throw that one away. But yeah, hopefully get good luck today and take the win. I remember at fast and hard back, like very slippery hard back and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. Just send it.
Get the whole shot
and keep it out front, yeah. I just want to give a big thanks to Mastercars. They really do a lot to me, and my mom and my dad. They really keep me on the bike fit, and yeah.
No, I think today will be a good day. Hopefully it's a good day because my first ever GXCC was on this track last year, so hopefully I can win it today. No, it's fun. The competition is very tough. There are lots of fast kids, and yeah, it's just a very fun format. I'm hoping to win the championship. I got the lead in the nationals, so hopefully I can defend that as well. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Last year I won this round, so I'm quite feeling a bit confident for this one. Yeah, I'm just going to see and pin it flat laps all the way. Yeah, it's good. GJ, Rolt and Agostini, he's also very good. Yeah, we'll see. Also, then chase the senior 85s.
Yeah, look, we try and keep old school alive. Racing a Banshee is definitely harder work than all the new 4-strokes, but just the pure sound of it, pure 2-stroke power, it's something different to ride, different animal. Yeah, look, Rysmierbult's one of the best venues of the season for us, and the Banshee will definitely fly here today. Yeah, luckily quads interest has picked up this year again. There's real good competition. I mean, a few years back when you pitch up at a race, you know you're going to win, but there's definitely good competition out there. I'll definitely try and get the whole shot. That's going to help a lot. I think dust is going to be an issue.
It's definitely something different. The guys can ride in Q1. It's nice for me to also be able to give them a challenge, something to think about that I am coming. I had some issues in the first race, got a bad flat wheel on the last 13 Ks, and it was kind of hard routing that with a flat wheel. So hopefully today no issues, and it's going to be a smooth run. It's going to be super tight in the starts. I think we're going through the mine in the starts, and then at the end we're going to have some fast sections. Dusty, but let's hope it's going to keep up.
Ja, nee, hierdie jaar is die kompetisie baie opgetel. Ons is 8 vandag om te begin 'n bietjie aan start. So ja, die kompetisie is bietjie hierso. Ek geniet dit. Dis iets nuuts vir die jaar en ek geniet dit al die pad. Ja, nee, dis regtig baie vinnig. Dis baie fiks. Die fiksheid, ek sukkel nog so 'n bietjie daarmee. Laas is fiksheid, dis besig om terug te kom, maar ons kom daar. Jesus het gewen laas jaar hierso. Die baan is regtig baie lekker. Hy is lekker vinnig. Eerste stukkie is baie tight en twisty met regtig 'n klomp klippe, maar verder is die baan lekker en ek het dit regtig geniet laas jaar en hierdie gaan dit weer lekker wees. Nee, die bike is 100. Ons het net so 'n bietjie 'n paar goeders gechanged vir hierdie race, maar verder is die bike goed en dit loop sterk.
Down onto the line for the morning session. The quad race has been a 2-horse race out front so far, and the quads would be opening up the big 41k loop. The big story were the 2 Yamahas, Franco Farid and Carly Simon. Super fast off the gate for both of these riders, but it was going to be whole shot racing. Franco would have the early lead going into the tech zone, but Carly had a clever fuel strategy up her sleeve this time around to try and get one over on the fast kid. In the Q2s, an interesting situation. Tinas Kutzer starting to gel nicely with his KTM, got the whole shot, and then had issues straight out of the gate before he even got to turn number 2. That allowed the screaming Banshee of Hannah Simon on the EMD Q-Con machine to get out front and run the numbers. Back on the Quad Masters, the A good drop off the gate for Vickers Pretorius. This guy is so good getting the jump on the field, but Philip Boyce knows what's what. He's been able to walk away with some big numbers and championships throughout the GXCC seasons in the past, and this time around he would know where exactly he was going into the field at the Rysmierbult. 1 or 2 riders stalling out on the quad gate for the veterans, but Barney Barnard, gloveless as always, himself and Sway Splitnort taking the big Can-Am 4x4s into the fields. For the quad ladies, one of the biggest quad ladies gates we've seen in many years. The Barnards were strong and powerful as always. Nicole and Liesel getting the numbers done, and then a whole slew of EMD QCon ladies doing the chase down. With the quads out there on the big loop, we turned our attention to the juniors, starting things out with the senior 85s. Derek van Asveken coming off his first national win just 1 week ago down in Natal. Himself and Drickus would be all elbows up. Remember, last time around, Van Asveken taking the win by 1 second. This time around, it was going to be a wild race. The junior 85s, Pierre Kitsia gelling nicely with his Bikers Warehouse Husqvarna. His first season up on the 85s, he was doing a good job of work, but himself and Liam Skippers, Mullet Man, those were the fast kids out there. And Skippers has much more experience on this terrain on the bigger machines. 65cc pros, still the numbers are going to be climbing throughout the season. Declan Richards, though, is gone off the front. He is the class act of the field. Pole shots and clear air all day long. Early on, Callan Van Deventer with him, but eventually the Vans Racing Husqvarna Pro would get the hurry up and check out. On the 50cc gate, still small numbers. We're expecting to see these guys pick up as we get a little bit deeper into the season. Rogan Matthews gets the cheese and goes out into the fields to take on the junior loop. The 50s would have one of their most challenging days on the tech, fast and varied terrain at Rysmierbult.
The little loop is one of the best junior loops we have on the tour. Vian, tell me about it.
Well, you're the one to tell about. You went after to go and have some fun on it yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, a little bit tight for a 300.
Yeah, so it's nice, tight and twisty in the morning for the first couple of Ks, and you know, it's through the old mining section here, through the forest section, beautiful. Not fast or anything, and then once they cross over the main road, then they're going to get some faster speeds, more open stuff, but beautiful route, just over 16 k's long, and yeah, they're going to have some good fun out there.
The cool thing with the Rysmierbult track is for the juniors as well as the seniors, you go straight into the tech zones in the mining area out the back, and then you play on this side of the road, then you cross the big tarmac strip, and then you start to swing off the back. It's a very, very fun and varied track, and that's why Rysmierbult always stands out as one of the riders' favorites. We'll go out on the track and pick up on the ladders, starting out with our 50cc races. Ian Taylor got himself out there with 3 laps scored and counted. In fact, in the 50cc's, only the first place rider managed to count 4 laps on the tick. The rest of them were on a 3-lapper. Ian Taylor walking away with a number 6 finish. Ethan Robertson, great to see him getting out there, his first ever GXCC, tagging a 4th place. He beat out on Quinton Vermont. Up the road from him, Bernie Blitnort getting a 3rd place ride. Rogan Matthews, our hole shotter, managed to stay on point and get his 2nd place, but he was a lap down because Eben Scholz was absolutely cruising on fire, managed to make it out there inside of the time bar and go out and race 2 hours and 13 minutes on the championship. He's going to be in great shape. Even though we're only 2 rounds into the 8-round series, Scholz has put his name in the hat as the standout favorite on the 50s. Moving up the horsepower ladder into the 65cc races, Julian Vanderberg, 6th place for him and 4 laps on the scorecard. 2 hours plus out there in the saddle, and all of the small wheels, that's the 50s and the 65s, said this was an absolute rock and roll race for them. Callan Van Deventer, good off the gate, but still trying to figure out his racecraft, dropping down into a number 5 finish come the end of play. He was in a big dice in the early stages with Trav Levy and Seb Nell. Seb Nell, very, very experienced at this kind of racing, but also in his first year moving up to the 65s. So Van Deventer in a number 5, Levy in a number 4. Levy also starting to gel nicely, but as he grew a little bit big at the end of the 50cc gates, same situation with the 65s. But for now, he is gelling absolutely perfectly. Alexander Nemeth into a number 2 spot, but Declan Richards hammering the nail, putting 16 minutes into his closest competitors. Declan is running off the front and strong as he heads to round number 3. The junior 85s, very strong numbers coming into play here. Kalen Snyman. This is one of the most competitive gates on the tour at the moment. The Junior 85's giving us well over 25 riders every single time we go out. Azario Yiannakis doing a great job of work on the Yami. One of the riders moving up from the 65, so he has got a little bit of work to do this season before he gets himself super comfortable. But right now, he is scoring points for a number 7 ride. Up the road was Jay Eels. Jay, good off the gate, but starting to fade as the race went a little bit deep. But he was the last of the riders to stay inside of the lead lap, getting 6 laps under his belt and scoring 6th place on the queue. We chatted to Juan Agostini before the race went out. He was looking confident and tasty on his Husqvarna. 5th place will keep him in the championship challenge hunt as we head out and start to close things out on the first quarter of the championship. Running a number 5 and very, very close to a top 3. When you start to see the numbers, you'll understand how tight the racing really is for these kids. 5th to 2nd place, separated by less than a minute and a half. Pierre Buchholz doing a great job of work to get himself up there into a number 4, with Takeng Morahi getting one of his best rides under his belt out here at Rysmierbult with a 3rd place ride. Great to see the F&B Lesotho kids crossing the border every single time and coming GXCC racing with us. Here, Kitsia, even though he got the cheese and got the whole shot pull, he faded a little bit towards the end of the race, managing to tag 2nd place. But it is his first year on the 85s, so we'll give him a pass there because he is going to get faster as the year goes on. Liam Skeepers, the veteran of the category at the moment, he's got one more season on this tour before he moves up into the senior 85s. And Liam Skeepers, mullet man, puts the hammer down and puts almost 6 minutes into his nearest rival. Then the first riders out of the gate on the morning session into the big junior loop, senior 85s. Radikilo Lynchway, another one of the F&B Lesotho riders getting the job done into an 8th place finish. Hanyu de Kock also started to figure things out. Seems like he was on the junior 85 gate for many seasons, and now moving up into his first year on the seniors. It's going to be a tough, challenging season for him, but 7th place shows that he is up there and in the mix. Dylan Besatenhout, the Steg, getting the job done into a number 6 ride, with Kakliso Kasipi getting it done into a number 5. Another one of the F&B Lesotho kids getting the job done, and every single time we see these guys coming across the border, they just get faster and better. Corbin Miller, fast privateer, getting the job done up there into a number 4. One of the best rides we've seen out of him. Himself and Besatenhout were at a war in the early stages until Muller started to stretch his legs. Jaden Els, the former 65cc champion back in the day, has really battled since he's come up into the 85s, but starting to show his form once again. 3rd place. Derek van Asperken taking the win at round number 1, and the previous weekend taking his first ever national championship win, this time around 2nd place. That ties things up for the championship, because now Drickus van der Merwe on the VW Mastercars Hatfield machine gets his win streak going. This was a perfect track for him. He got the setup right on his bike this time and charged off the front to take his GXCC win. We caught up with the kid after the race.
Yo, brother, another day, another dollar. Tell me about the track. How'd it go?
It was very it was fast, and some parts very, very twisty and rocky and stuff, but yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah, those first few Ks is tight, eh?
Yeah, it was very tight, and the rocky stuff actually made it harder. Like, you not slipping in the corner, but it messes you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, those rocks.
But on the big stuff, you got to swing off the back there as well. Like the first round, you said you were down on horsepower and gearing. Did you get it right this time?
Yeah, we got the gearing stuff right now, so I think I got a top speed now. Yeah, it was very like a cable the whole way.
What do you think about the rest of the guys queuing up? There's 1 or 2 guys who are after you now, hey?
Yeah, the competition was very big today. I actually was 2nd in the first lap, pushing Derek, waiting for him to make a mistake, but it was very hard. But eventually he made a mistake, fell, and I passed him. Yeah.
Let's confirm the results then. Van der Merwe on the top step, putting a good beat down as well, almost a minute and a half ahead of Van Asperken. Els showing his form once again to get his 3rd place. Liam Skeepers gets it done ahead of Geje Kutsia and Marahi, with Buchholz and Agostini rounding out the top 5. 65cc's all about Richards once again, ahead of Nemeth, Nel, Levy and Van Deventer. And on our 50cc gate, exciting times for Scots as he puts his name in the hat for a championship challenge ahead of Matthews and Blicknort. With the juniors done, we turn our attention to the quaddies and chat to Vian about the big track.
And then the big loop for the quaddies. The quads, you showed me a section yesterday that is going to be epic, the swamp.
Yeah, so there's been quite a lot of work that's gone into this section. We wanted to have a little bit more fun on that side of the farm, but the last 2 years we couldn't really go there. It's swampy land and so on. So Fadi brought his big equipment with concrete pipes, and we built 2 bridges to go over and come back again. And yeah, but it's not going to be a swampland for the guys to go through. Water splash with concrete pipes secured, and they're going to go through there. I think it'll be a nice spectator spot, but yeah, some good stuff on that side. A whole new section. Well, when I'm saying new, we haven't raced there in probably 8 years, back in Lawrence's days. So we're using that spot, and we're going to have some fun out there.
Some of the biggest numbers on the quad gate that we have seen, and it's going to be interesting because they go out of the gate straight into the tech zone that is the mine lands and a bit of forest, and then they start opening up the fields. We'll start things out with the quad ladies, where we saw Liesl Simon rock up and get the job done. 2 laps under her belt this time around, scoring a number 5 ride, so she'll be happy with that, and the EMD QCon squad will be happy to have her out there scoring big points. Nicole Barnard, surprising to see her have a problem out there, only getting 2 laps under her belt, having issues out there in some of the tech zones on the track. That's going to drop her down in the championship standings. Celeste Berger, she's so consistent, she brings it home every single time, and 3rd place will put her way up in the championship standings as we move forward into round number 3. That's going to be at Papsfontein. We haven't raced there for a while, so it's going to be fun to see if all the sand, whoops and everything are still where we left them. Kelly van Staden had some issues on the little swamp area, just went a little bit wide on the entry, but it didn't slow her roll too badly. She's still going to get the 2nd place finish. She stayed on the lead lap, but she was quite a long way off the timeline, something like 15 minutes behind eventual race winner Liesl Barnard. Barnard has a choice of machinery. She can go for one of the Yammies, or she can go for the big 4x4. She went for the big 4x4, and it definitely paid off this time around as she hammered the nail on the competition to win out on the ladies quads. Quad veterans moving forward into a number 4th place finish this time around for Sway's Blicknote. Peter Besaidenote was behind him. He just got 1 lap under his belt before he had issues on his machine. Sway's was 2nd out the gate, eventually dropping down to 4th place. Tony DeSantos, no issues for him, although he did say it was a tough, hard day in the saddle for the big Raptor. Certainly this side of the road where you had to do a lot of work and turning. Other side of the road, not such a big issue where you could just swing off the back. 2nd place after a long day in the saddle, staying on the lead lap, but he was out there 3 hours and 37 minutes, and that's QCon EMD's Darby DeVette. He'll be happy with that, but it was a long, hot day to get the job done. Up the road was the main dude, Barney Barnard. Gloveless and happy as always, almost the entire Barnard family going for the Can-Am setup this time around, staying away from the big punches, which on the quad side of things, Rysmierbult can be famous for. Barnard will now move himself into the lead of this category. For the Quad Masters, Vickers Pretorius had his day in the sun, but it only lasted 1 lap as he had quad issues early on, finishing in a 6th place finish. Victor Pretorius, 1 lap better, moving up 1 position better as well, taking a number 5 on the day. Out there for a long time, 2 laps took him 2 hours and 54 minutes, also showing that he had some major issues out there on the course. Bernardo Fivas beating him by just over a minute to make his way into 4th place. A really tough day in the saddle for the riders out there, especially in the Quad Masters. Remember, they go out of the gate quite late, so they're straight out there into the dust and the roost. It doesn't show it on this side of the road, but when you cross the road, it turns into Powder City. Darren Moyle, no issues. Captain Stock Standard once again showing you don't need all the bells and whistles to bring home the bacon. 3rd place and on the lead lap as well. Around about 20 minutes off eventual 2nd place finisher Roxy DeSantos. Roxy knows exactly how to take on races like this. He's been on the GXCC tour for something like 10 seasons, so he knows what's what. And certainly experience came to the fore at this round. A lot of riders were out there nursing punches, and that's why you see a lot of the lap times a little bit longer than they normally are. Philip Boyce, no real big issues for him. He's got a couple of quads that he can go and select out of the garage. This time around he went for the fast KTM. Looks like the 525 machine is still running good as he stood on the top step. Into the pro categories where the Q2 riders were 2nd out of the gate. Darby van Staden changing out from his classic 4x4 Can-Am and getting onto a big Raptor. Maybe not gelling perfectly with it just yet, but 4th place shows that he is still in the hunt. Rion Dick, I've given him a 3rd place curse and he's not happy about that. He brought home a 3rd place finish once again, but it is points on the plate, and that's how you win these long 8-round championships. 2nd place this time around for Tinas Kutzer. He had his issues early on out of the gate. He had some problems with his handlebar fueling system. Had to remove that quickly and carry on out there. Picked up 1 or 2 punches along the way, so 2nd place will, in many ways, for Tinas riding out of Megs, feel like a win on the day. The true win, though, going to Hannes Simon. Absolutely unstoppable out there. Charged his way through the field, got a good run of form going, found his rhythm nice and early, and the QCon EMD rider on the Screaming Banshee not only walked away with the Q2 victory, but also the overall victory on the day. He really put on a big show for us. In the Q1s, where we are seeing the numbers come up nicely as well, the Wolfarts were strong and arrived in numbers. 7th place for Tion and 6th place for Jaco Wolfart as they grabbed a whole bunch of points in the Q1 Championship Challenge to try and make their way up inside of the top 5. Kobus Knutzer was taking it relatively steady to walk away with a number 5 finish. Didn't really want to step out of line, and if you see the checkers at Rysmierbult, you're setting yourself up for a nice season. That's exactly what happened to Francois Smallberger. Wasn't super happy with the pace that he was running, but the results do not lie. 3rd place solidifies his 3rd place in the championship. Rowan Muller had an incredible ride. Every now and again we see this guy come to the fore, and this time around he brought the Honda all the way up to 2nd place. That's his highest finish of the season so far, and that's also going to be changing up the standings. This race, Rysmierbult, will go down as the championship possible decider, certainly where it started to come to life. The reason it came to life is Franco Pretorius, who has been unstoppable, walking away with the championship last year, but this time around 4th place. He was in the hunt. He was running 2nd place onto the last lap until he had his quad issues, and that opened the door for Carly Simon. We've been saying it's been coming. She was so strong last year, running out of the ladies' gate and walking away with the top 3 overall. Then at the opening round, showing her form, and this time around, she straight outbeat the kid. She was out there on the track running ahead of him a lot of the day as well. And Gnarly Carly walks away with her first Q1 victory, the first lady ever to take a win in the Q1 Premier class. We saw this coming, and it was so cool to see it actually arrive at the 2nd round. She got everything right and saw the checkers, and it was an emotional win for Gnarly Carly.
Carly, history has happened. We said if that lighty steps 1 foot out of line, you're going to get him. You walked away with the big win in the Q1s. Congrats.
Thank you so much. I kept the pressure on him and maybe he cracked, but I think he may have had some issues with the bike, so it's a good win.
We've seen you coming on strong though. I mean, I think last year you entered the ladies' gate and you still got 3rd overall, so we knew this was coming.
Yes, I've been pushing with it. Everybody's been convincing me to ride Q1, so I'm super glad I did it. My first win.
And was Hannes laughing with you out there? Were you giggling? Did you have a little bit of joy with your teammate?
I don't think he enjoyed me making dust in front of him. Quite hard to pass the fast guys in the front, but you know, it's friendly racing, so it's nice to actually be at the top class with the fast guys.
Round 2 of 8, now it's a championship fight.
Yes, now we need to go.
Rysmierbult had its casualties though, a couple of riders finding some of the rocks on the copy and removing bits of their machinery. As we said at Riders Briefing, Rysmierbult is not to be taken lightly. If you go off course, you will find some immovable objects. The quads though can be built. There was no injuries for the riders, and everyone will be looking forward to an easier run at Babsfontein.
Hannes, even though you had those issues early on lap number 1, you still plowed the field.
Today was a challenging day for me, honestly. Luckily the wind was pumping, so passing all the guys was quite easy. Managed to get the whole shot. 2nd turn, the bike just died on me. Came back to the pits. Luckily it didn't take me too long, probably lost about 4 or 5 minutes there. Luckily got going again, and from there it was just smooth sailing.
You start picking up the pieces out there. I saw a lot of broken quads.
Yeah, look, the route was quite tough, must be honest. You really worked hard today. It wasn't just an easy flowing route. The guys made sure we work, and but look, still enjoyable. Myself and Carly had a lack of dice towards the end, and congratulations to her.
Tell me about that mud bog section. It actually wasn't mud bog, but kind of like a whoop section that was covered in water.
Yeah, look, luckily it wasn't deep. We've been through it in the past, it was deep, but today was quite easy through there.
Yo T, there was a lot of broken quads out there, but yours kind of held together. Well, kind of held together.
No, it was really good. First lap, got the whole shot. First round the corner, the bike just died. Got it back running. Out there, really, really nice track. So I had a spare tank on the front of my handlebars, and that started coming undone. So I had to stop, get out off, back out, chasing the front runners. And then Hannes came past as well, tried to catch up with them, got a flat, and yeah, that's it, that was the race. But it was fun, it was really nice, I enjoyed the track, it's really fun out there.
It's really a 50-50 track, and I always say that when we come here, very, very tight and very technical for the quads on the tech stuff, but when it's wide open, it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, definitely, the melee fields, and yes, amazing, it's really nice. The tight section wasn't too tight, for some people it'll be tight, but it's really nice. The copy up there always just slows the pace down and everything, and it's really nice. That's probably why I got my puncher, but it's really nice. I enjoyed it. For Vian and the team and all of them, it's really nice, and then the sponsors as well, Megs Racing and Megs Connection.
Confirmation of Gnarly Carly on the top step. First time ever. Huge congratulations for everyone here at GXCC Racing on the day, beating out on Muller. Q2s, no big surprise. Hannes Simon hammering the nail on everyone, beating out on Kutzer and Dick. That's going to be the championship fight. For the Masters, Philip Boyce starting to show his form once again, beating out on DeSantos and Moyle. For the quad veterans, Bonnie Barnard, class act on the day, really had the good setup on his machine, beating out on DeVet and DeSantos. And for the quad ladies, Liesel Barnard starting to show a clean pair of heels in the championship ahead of Carly van Staden, who was super consistent on the year. That was the morning session. We get ready for the afternoon. But before that, let's go and see what's happening at VW Mastercars Hatfield. Welcome to VW Hatfield Motor Group, where service is our number one priority. We have a fleet of new vehicles for you to choose from. Our friendly staff are ready to help you with a new car, sales, parts, or servicing. We have a used and demo vehicle department with a variety of brands. Let us take you on this journey to become a part of the family at VW Hatfield Pretoria. And for every successful referral or purchase, Hatfield will cover your entry fees for the remaining GXCC events. We will match or beat any written quote. We hope to see you soon. Afternoon session is always a nice, exciting build-up as well. The course had been opened well in the morning by one of the biggest quad entries we had seen, and the bikes were ready, chomping at the bit to get on the line for round number 2. We headed to the pits to chat to the beautiful people. B, you've always got that big smile on your face. Nice hookup on the Honda for this year, and tell me how she's going and how you're feeling coming into the second round.
No, it's a lovely bike. I'm loving it. It's definitely an adjustment from my KTM, but no, it's looking forward to the race. It definitely sounds like it's going to be a fun one, but yeah, no, it's looking good.
You seem to have gelled nicely into the biker squad. How are these guys really? They look like a fun bunch.
No, they're very fun. Oh, it's always jokes and always helping each other out. Everyone gels so nicely. Yeah, it's lovely, yeah.
Do you get a lot of feedback from the guys? Because obviously you've been racing for a few years now, but a lot of them have been racing for decades, so they can give you a lot of advice.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I only started racing last year, so they definitely help me a lot in all the tips and whatnot. So definitely when it comes to more difficult tracks, they tell me what to do and how to handle it. So I definitely appreciate it a lot.
So what's the approach and the training strategy coming into this one? Because it's a 50-50 track. There's tech and high speed.
Oh no, well I did the national last weekend, so that was more of my training, but I've been sick for a while, so hopefully I'm just going to try get through the race without having too much difficulties and just keep focused and just have a steady head.
Laurie, firstly, congrats. Back to winning ways at the Nationals. That's cool to see. And now we're back at one of probably your favorite tracks, I think.
Yeah, Matt says last weekend's National was quite tough. Thankful for the win, but also in the same breath, unfortunate Kieran Fitzgerald is not back from his injury at the Dakar. So yeah, once he's back and he's strong, then obviously it will be a proper race. Kochi did well, coming in second place. So yeah, the class is competitive, so I'm always happy to walk away with a win. But yeah, back at Rysmierbult, I've hosted events here before, I've raced here plenty of times. I love this type of terrain. It's hard pack, it's tricky, you can't just hang on the cable and go from corner to corner, you have to think a little bit. But yeah, bike's feeling good and the team's good to go. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good day.
You seem to have taken on a bit of a mentor role here as well, so obviously imparting as much knowledge as you can to the rest of the guys.
Yeah, we always try and encourage everyone and make sure the spirits are high. I know what it's like being a racer. You stress before the race, you doubt yourself, you doubt your preparations, although everything is in place. So it just helps when someone tells you, hey man, you're good enough to do it, so let's go and have fun.
Merryman, great to have you back. It's been tough to watch you have to be sidelined for all this time, but how are you feeling? Are you back to full fitness or what?
Yeah, I would say I'm back to full fitness. I really feel good. I haven't had a lot of time on the bike, but off the bike training, I'm definitely very strong. I'm sure I'm stronger than last year. So I'm happy to be back. We were at the National last weekend, didn't go as planned, but I'm glad to have the first one over, and hopefully we can redeem ourselves this weekend.
I know last year you battled with setup on the old bike, but the new bike seems like a completely different beast.
Yeah, I must say, Harry and them, everybody in my corner this year, they're doing a lot of effort. So I really can't complain. The bike is 100%, and we are much better with the top end, and that's the only thing we complained about last year.
Be back at old Rysmierbult, good track for you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I've had some good, it's obviously like an iconic track going years back. I mean, growing up, I used to come back here watching Lawrence and Kenny battle it out, so obviously it's lekker being back here. I've had some good memories here. Obviously a track that consists of fast and flowing stuff, and then also tight and twisty, you know, so yeah, we'll see how the day goes out. Rolled up from the National last weekend, so that was good. I had a proper result there, so yeah, hopefully keeping to build that momentum going, and yeah, for a good day.
Always your gate, always a big gate. There's a lot of dudes, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, the competition is always heavy, and three big bangers. You know, the Oaks are fast. They've got good fitness and stuff. So yeah, I think obviously today with the dust, the start will be key. So I've been practicing the start, so hopefully that will go all smooth. And yeah, the rest of the day we'll plan out, hopefully smooth and keep it on the bike, 2 wheels.
But Ty, dialing in with the 250. A little bit of a rough ride last weekend at the Nationals. What do you got for us today?
I think today will definitely go a lot better than the National. KZN's always tough for me. We've seen in the past. I'm happy to walk out healthy for a change. But yeah, we're just going to build on the first GXCC. I had good speed there. I had a good off-season on the 250. We made a lot of strides with this Honda. We got some good development throughout December. I think, yeah, today we're definitely going to fight for the win.
You're 50-50 on the gates, and you know this is a whole shot track.
Yeah, luckily I'm pretty good at starts. I think I'm consistently at least in the top 3, so I look to get the whole shot today and hopefully just run away.
Hey Dart brother, back at the old classic venue. Do you like this one?
Yes, yeah, it's a bit dusty, so start is obviously key, but we're gonna just give it the best we can, and yeah, every GXCC I love them all, so I don't think I have a bad track. So looking forward to today. Yeah.
Obviously round number 1 kicking off the rust, but you didn't look too bad, to be fair.
Yes, yeah, so round 1 was awesome. A lot of loam, a lot of traction. The 450 Kawa was hooking up great. So today is going to be a bit more slippery. I don't think it's going to be too physically demanding, so I'm not too worried about my fitness. I'm just nursing a little bit of flu today that I picked up from my son Hayden. But yeah, we're going to give it our best and hopefully get a decent result.
Mikey, you're going to have to bring the magic this time. Problems on race number 1, but this is round number 2, and we're back to magic again.
Oh, we're back. Round 1 was a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is, and we've been here, we've done it before. I'm just going to try and have a smooth season, you know. We do what we do, and yeah, coming off the National last weekend was quite tough. It was a tough National. Bit of a bummer race there as well. Ended up having a big crash there, but I'm feeling good. Recovered up this week and made some changes to the bike. So I'm actually pretty keen to get out there and see how we're feeling.
You got your dust radar in, because I heard it was a dust bowl last weekend as well.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I'm dialed in. I'm used to the dust. I love dust.
What about this track? We know it's kind of a 30% tech, the rest just swinging off the back.
Yeah, I think that'll be quite nice too. Just a bit of a change up. Last weekend was left, right for flipping 3.5 hours, 4 hours. Then KZN, so this will be nice to open up, stretch up the body, stretch out the bike, you know, get a feel for off-road racing again, and I'm keen, yeah.
Let's bring them to the line. OR1 Pro riders, and if I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. 2024 is giving us our most competitive lineup we have seen to date. Magic Mike knew exactly what he had to do after his issues at round number 1. Scotty H was trying to go 2 for 2. Hayden Lowe in good form as well, trying to stay inside that top 3. And everyone knew this was whole shot racing. Whole shot this time around, going to Magic Mike. Just got his nose ahead. Wade Dent very much in the mix this time around. Slightly wide on the line though. That opened up the inside line for Scotty H to slide on through. And the battle that we wanted to see at round number 1 was delivered at round number 2. Den held 3rd place ahead of JC. In the OR2 Pro category, John Buerta looking very comfortable on the Bikers Warehouse Husky 350, was out there and gone with Seth Lilford, one of the big surprise packages of the season, right there with him on his wheel. OR3, Ryan Peltzer, the dude to beat on this championship at the moment, but he did not get the gate that he wanted. That cheese went to Blake Young, starting to figure out how to get the best out of the Honda. It wasn't just a hole shot, he decimated the field, holding a 1 second advantage over Karan as they headed out into the tech zone. For the high schools, Nathan Westerdale getting picked up by the UB Ledger Honda squad between rounds 1 and 2. Didn't get the hole shot. That honor went to the 737 of Murray Smith, his teammate. And then you also threw Seth Young into the mix. UB Leisure Honda came to play at round number 2. On to the seniors. No show for Kochi this time around, so that was going to hurt his championship aspirations. Mahoney got it all his way. He would run clear air and chase onto the back end of most of the high school and the pro category riders. We also had the Dakar superstar Ronnie Fenter in the mix, along with Matty Snyman, to see what he could do. On the Masters, Warwick van Skalkbeek in his comeback race very nearly got the whole shot cheese. Just got squeezed out on turn number 1 by Peter Hall. Francois Swanepoel was always there, running in the number 3 spot. No show for Farmer. He was sidelined through injuries collected at the previous weekend's race down at the Nationals. We wish him a speedy recovery. For the veterans category, now super comfortable on the Kawasaki, Jeff Den got the cheese. Marty Poole swamped down there in something like 6th place off the gate. He would have to deal with a lot of dust in the early stages on the factory Shimwell's Yamaha to try and get up into a podium position. And then onto the stacked gate of Pro-Ams, starting out with the OR1 Big Bangers. Hendrico Hamza, he's got a good hookup on that Honda, gets his nose out front, and we'd have to see what he was going to be able to do to try and remain as the main dude. The OR1 Pro-Am gate, one of the most competitive lineups on the 2024 season. OR2 Pro-Ams, Dieter de Vet, round number 1 winner, got his nose out front nice and early. Himself and Jaco Nordia, old sparring partners, and the war was on once again. Moving back onto the OR3 Pro-Am gate, which has seen a bit of a resurgence as well. We're starting to see Jaden Boyce come to life. Pepson Plastics Kawasaki kid, nose ahead, clear air. That's the best setup and start you can ever have to a race out here at Rysmierbult. He was gone. And then the OR4 Pro-Ams love this category of racing, where we saw Matthias Tienpont get his first ever whole shot of the season for the Gravity Racing squad. But there was a ton of talent chasing his wheel to see if they could survive the challenging terrain out there at round number 2. And then on the ladies' gate, no big surprise, the pocket rocket herself, Nicole Duplessis, gets the job done out front. This was probably the most important hole shot of the season, as you go straight out of the hole shot maze into the tech zone. If you can survive out front in the first 3 to 4 kilometers of Rysmierbult, you've got a good chance of running the numbers. Vian talks to us about the afternoon session track and how the championship looks.
Afternoon session all about Scotty Haygate coming off an incredible win at round number 1, but everyone is lined up, queued up, and everyone wants to get the big win. The bikes are going to be exciting this afternoon.
I'm always worried about those guys that go out there, petrol heads, and they just want to chase each other in the first 5Ks. It's a bit rough out in the start, some rocky sections, so let's just hope they keep it all together. It's well marked, but also once they cross over the main road, they're going to chase each other on the faster stuff that side.
Give me an idea of the length of the track we're working with in the afternoon?
Yeah, it's we had to make a few changes yesterday afternoon because the locals have a funeral in one of the sections, so we had to change. That added another kilometer, so now we had 51 kilometers of route length. It's going to keep them busy, and I'm guessing with the tight and twisty stuff along with the faster stuff, they're probably going to do 43s round about there, so that's my guess for the day.
Love Rysmierbult, absolutely primo racing conditions as well. Thankfully, the little bit of wind that we lost in the morning came back for the afternoon as well. So it would clear most of the dust, certainly in the open sections. Let's go out there and start climbing the ladders. Kieran Degenau getting one of the best rides of his season, going in the OR4 category, up there into a number 6 place ride, with Farid Bosch taking a number 5. The OR4 category, we'll remind ourselves, this is for some of our junior riders, giving them a chance to move on up and get used to the big track. One of the best rides we've seen coming out of Chris Homser Jr. on the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad, 4th place, and now comfortable on the KTM. Such a big difference in riding style and form since he moved across onto his KTM machine. Up the road, a whole shot superstar Matthias Tienpont for the Gravity Racing squad dropped down a couple of positions to eventually finish in a number 3 spot. Up the road was Peter Collin, his best ride of the season so far, into a number 2. And he wasn't too far off the win as well, just over a minute off the back wheel of Jake, the Snake Pretorius. Jake has really developed into a solid rider. A little bit young to be moving up into the OR4s, but makes it work for himself. Into the OR3 Pro-Ams, and we start to see some of the big dogs coming out here. The Pro-Am gates are stacked, and every single round we will see 1 or 2 different names inside of the top 3. This time around, Dean Butter in a 6th place, Hansi van der Berg into a number 5, and Jean-Andre Bosch just a little bit further up the road, inside of a number 4. The bunching and grouping in this category is so close though. One mistake, you can lose something like 3 positions. Janko van Niekerk was good enough to stay out of trouble inside of the top 3. All set up by a perfect gate drop. Nathan Godrich, he said coming into the season it was going to take him 1 or 2 rounds to come back to life after his broken bones last year. 2nd place shows he is back on the money, losing out on the race by 1 minute and 30 seconds to Philip Hobbs. Hobbs, a new name on the top step and a new rider to watch out for as he eyes up a championship in the OR3 Pro-Ams. OR2s, very interesting situation where we see a lot of experience coming into play here. Tian Hennis, the old school custom squad, into a number 6. Big surprise in the day, 5th place to Dieter de Vet, round number 1 winner, 5th place today. That drops him down in the championship standings. He's going to have to rebound strong at round number 2. Up the road from him, Russell Van Gool, always inside of the top 4, so happy to see him keep his nose clean. Dennis van der Merwe came back into racing, swinging a leg onto a Yamaha, normally on the Austrian brands, so still trying to get his setup going with that. Jaco Nordia went out of the gate in 2nd place, remained in 2nd place, but got beaten out by Ruben Stratum on the C2. We were worried there that he wasn't going to pop a wheelie for us, but never have to wait long for the C2 to put on the show. Big show on the track, but big show on the results as well. Big win to climb the ladders. In the OR1 Pro-Ams, the stacked gate is absolutely insane. Daniel Goodall into a number 6 place ride, with Hendrico Homser, the hole shotter, dropping down a couple of positions throughout the race to eventually finish in 5th. Medium size, Shane Nienauber for the VW Mastercars squad, solid, consistent and fast as always, into a number 4 spot, with Ben Vessels up the road from him. Every single one of these riders inside of the top 8 running on the lead lap. Francois Smallberger, completely different rider since he swapped out from the smaller machine. Normally a 250 rider, this year big surprise moving up onto the 450s, but looks absolutely perfect. At the end of the day, he said he wasn't happy with how he rode, but 2nd place doesn't lie. Benru Stratum goes 2 for 2 for the Stratum Bros. Benru running on the C215. We'll see the checkers. Stratum Brothers Racing getting the job done and seeing the checkers. Here's confirmation of Benru standing on the top step. What a turnaround for the Stratum Brothers at round number 2. This time in the OR1 Pro-Ams, beating out on Smallberger and Vessels. And in the OR2s, brother Ruben Stratum stands on the top step as well. Congratulations from the GXCC Racing family and Hollywood Hills here. Nordia in 2nd and van der Merwe in 3rd. And into the OR3 Pro-Ams, Philip Hobbs top step, and close racing as well. Just 1 minute and 20 seconds between himself and Godrich, and then Van Niekerk in a number 3 spot. OR4's always exciting. Jake the Snake on the top step. Fantastic riding for him, beating out on Colleen and Tienpont. And congrats to Chris Homser Jr., his best ride so far with a 4th place. We'll go into our ladies and our age group categories now, picking up on the Pocket Rocket. Great out the gate and dropping down to 5th place eventually. Honorable mention to Shelley Tyler and Elang Chabana. They only completed 1 lap, having issues out there on the course. Up the road though, Zaria Farie starting to become an all-round rider. Bit of an iron woman. She can ride rocks, tech, slow, fast, everything. 4th place shows that she is going to be a campaigner on this tour as well. Gabby Fotheringham, one of her best rides of the season as well. So cool to see her out there and enjoying her time on the smoker. And she definitely gelled well with Rysmierbult. We chatted to this lady before we went out there and raced. Bianca Edwards getting picked up by the Bikers Warehouse Honda squad. 2nd place in her 2nd full season of championship racing. She was a standout rider on the Pro-Ams. Now she is racing in the Pro category. But no big surprise after the form that this lady showed at the opening round. Brooklyn Lilford out front and gone, hammering the nail. She's going to be a big threat for the ladies' gate this season. Up the road into our men's age group category, starting out with the veterans Dick Bessinger for the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad. Squeaks his way inside of the top 8, chasing down on the back wheel of Stefan Bagnall. Stefan, he's getting shuffled backwards at the moment. There's a lot of very fast and tasty veteran riders moving up every single season. It wasn't long ago that Bagnall was sitting inside the top 3 of every single round. Now there's a few riders shuffling him down the order. Same situation happens to Willem Swickers, one of the top Yamaha riders out there on the veterans lineup. Swickers eventually walking away with a number 6 ride. Conrad Edwards, dad of Bianca. Family racing is what GXCC is all about. He walks away with one of his best rides into a number 5 finish with Anton Moret. Just keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble. Good gate, clever fueling strategy, moving him up the road into a number 4 spot. Martin Poole eventually got through the dust, get himself up there into a number 3 spot, but that poor start really did hurt him. Took him too long to see clear air. Still, Motti is a championship player, and with an 8-round championship with 1 round throw away, he's still going to be one of the riders to watch out for on his factory Shimwells Racing Yamaha. Jeremy Smith had definitely one of his best days. Elbows high, out of the saddle, and walked away with a number 2 spot, just losing out by around about a minute and a half to the back wheel of the Pepsi Plastics Cower of Jeff Dent. Jeff knows exactly what it's all about. An old school motocross racer. He knows you've got to get your nose ahead nice and early. He's figured out what GXCC cross-country racing is all about, and he takes another win. Into the Masters category, where we'll focus in on the top 8. Mark Nell getting a good run of form going. 2 laps scored and counted with a full seat time of 2 hours 35, showing how tough and demanding the conditions were out at Rysmierbult. Francois Bosch up the road from him in a number 7 with JD Wolfart. The Wolfarts came out in force out here at Rysmierbult, and we thank them very much for the support of the GXCC Tour. 6th place for JD, not too far off the back wheel of Peter Compan. Compan also fantastic to see him and his entire team, squad and family out at every single one of the races. JJ Duval knows exactly how to get the best out of himself and his machine, and the top shining light in this category for the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad races. Francois Swanepoel gated 3rd, raced 3rd, saw the flag in 3rd place. And he'll be happy with his support package that he's got from the Roost KTM squad after seasons and seasons on the Husqvarna brand. 3rd place, a long season, and there's plenty of time still to come. Warwick van Skalkwyk coming back from injuries. Said he was going to take it easy. Well, if this is him taking it easy, it's going to be interesting when he turns up the wick. 2nd place and really not too far off the race win as well. Peter Hall got his nose out front, lost his sparring partner last weekend, old Wayne Farmer, sidelined with a couple of busted ribs. But Peter Hall still held it wide open to take yet another win. Up the road into the seniors, Henny Blicknort walking away with an 8th place finish, and it was tough racing out there for the seniors. 1 or 2 riders getting lost on lap number 1. Big Ronnie Fenter, the Dakar superstar, got a little bit lost on lap number 1, but managed to fight back big time to eventually get number 7 under his belt. Same situation for Maddie Snyman. Looked like Ronnie and Maddie were chasing each other around on the junior loop early on, but fought back hard for a 7th and 6th place finish respectively. Snyman can run inside the top 3 on this gate, so he's got some work to do at round number 3 to pull back those points. Gerard Foster, great to see him out there on the UB Leisure Factory Racing Honda. Pulled back some big numbers after his early season injuries. Billy Human, the off-season pickup for the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad, starting to find his feet in this category. Definitely going to be up there in the top 3 at some point on the season when the track suits his riding style. Clearly went down the road as he was running cannonball in the early laps. Hugh Levy had to sideline himself at round number 1 looking after a downed rider, but we know that this guy is an all-round rider. 3rd place shows that his form, pace and speed are there on the Moto Klerksdorp Racing Honda. 2nd place and the best ride we've seen out of this rider so far, Jovan Shapira. gets it done inside of second place. But how can you fight against the thunder that is Lawrence Mahoney? No Kochi to fight with this time around, so he made hay while the sun was shining. Lawrence ran almost 40 minutes ahead of the rest of the competition and put a full lap into second place. Mahoney was on a burner at Rysmierbult and certainly showed that he had a good time out there. And in our high school racing category, so many riders coming onto this gate to see what they can do about being the new champion in 2024. Jean-Andre Vermaak coming off his food poisoning issues at round number 1. Certainly not back at full pace or fitness. 8th place showed that he's still got some work to do. Dion van Start up the road from him in 7th. And then Lohan Leroux starting to gel nicely with the 125, but starting to become a bigger kid as well. Looking forward to moving up into the OR3 Pro categories. Alex Grobler, after his big win at round number 1, had some issues out there at round number 5. Well, not issues, just the fact that there's so many tasty, fast riders that all of a sudden have showed up and are starting to rip the bars off. 4th place finish for John Bart Moritz. In fact, he was up there running inside of the top 3, but a big crash on the last lap, putting him down to 4th place. We wish him a speedy recovery, and we'll no doubt see him a little bit later in the season. That meant that the high school 125s were a 1, 2, and 3 for the UB Leisure Factory Honda squad. Murray Smith got the big hole shot and eventually dropped back into a number 3 finish. We know that he's got the pace after coming off an undefeated golden season on the 85 Pro senior category from last year. This is his first year on the 125s. 3rd place, he can still hold his head high. A new pickup and a hookup for the Honda squad. Seth Young, brother of Blake, showing what he can do. Great gate, got himself out there into a number 2 spot, just off the back wheel of Nathan Westerdale. This guy charged off the front and was stoked to get his first GXCC win of the season under his belt. Perfect race.
Nate, after the GPS problems at round number 1, I think you bounced back quite nicely, eh?
Yeah, I think I bounced back quite nicely. Actually, remembered the track this time, well, not remembered it, just found the right turns and then brought me to the pit in the right amount of time.
Tell me about this track layout. I mean, everyone knows this is a bit of a wild one, and if you get it wrong, you're going to get it seriously wrong.
Yeah, the straights they're long, but they're sketchy. So you can be holding it, then you just hit a rock. So sometimes you just have to go smooth.
Obviously, you're going to have a word with yourself. Obviously, you got picked up by the big Harry Honda squad, so that's, I think, helped your confidence.
Yes, that helped a lot. And then we got a lot of kit from Just One, which is really nice. And then feeling good.
Laurie, you're making magic happen there, bud. It's been a pearl of a day, not only for you, but also the team.
Yeah, she's the team did so well. So proud of them. This is a tricky race. If you do well here, then your setup is right and your fitness is right. It was quite dusty today. You really had to think nicely. You couldn't just get on the gas and commit. You had to actually race the terrain. So, to come back with a win today, it was great. Fitness almost there. A little bit tired still from last weekend's national, but all in all, the bike worked well, the team worked well, and just thank the Lord for being safe. And we go from here.
Peter, I don't know if you liked this track or didn't, but the result's always the same, eh?
Yeah, no, I think I actually enjoyed it. There was a bit of lurkers, and always when it goes to you sometimes when you hit it and you didn't see it. But I actually enjoyed the track. I felt strong, and everything went well. Yeah, so missing Wayne obviously, but he'll be back.
Any messages for Wayne out there?
I hope he recovers quickly. One thing that everybody should know is you need a competitor. If you haven't got a competitor, there's nothing that chases you. So I hope he gets better quick.
Jeff, nice solid day of work. You're obviously nice and comfy on the Kawa now.
Nice and comfy on the Kawa. I just don't know if I'm fit enough. Jeepers, it was hot and hard out there. Really tough rocks, square edges, a proper workout. But I enjoyed it. It's lekker. I wouldn't want it any other way.
The track hold up? Because obviously we know it powders up across the road there.
Powdered up a lot. And a lot of square edges coming out, as the guys are digging it up, as the powder's coming out, it's just getting square edges everywhere, but all good.
Incredible track, actually. Out of the gate, you go straight into a very, very tight first 3Ks, eh?
Yeah, the first 3K is tight, and it's kind of like with a longer gearing. It's like first gear type of thing, and rocks, like a lot of loose rocks, but lekker.
Certainly lacquer. Here's confirmation of Nathan Westerdale's big win at round number 2 ahead of Young and Smith. Honda's going 1, 2, and 3, beating out on Moritz, Grobler, Leroux, Van Stad, and Vermaak. For the seniors, unstoppable and untouchable. That is until Kochi comes back. Mahoney way off the front ahead of Skapira. Levy, Human and Foster. For the Masters category, Peter Hall also missing out on his sparring partner Wayne Farmer. This time, Van Skalkwyk takes the number 2 spot ahead of Swanepoel, Duval and Compan. And in the veterans, Jeff Dan, the last rider we spoke to after the race, big smiles on his face, only just squeaked it ahead of Jeremy Smith, Marty Poole, Moraire and Edwards. For the ladies, Brooklyn Lilford, big championship threat this season, but Bianca Edwards is right there to take over if anything goes wrong. Great job for Fotheringham. 3rd place, her best ride so far. We take a short breath as we get ourselves ready to go into the pro categories. Picking up on the OR3 pros, Vian Wenzel full of confidence, but machinery issues this time around, dropping him down to an 8th place. That's going to hurt his championship hustle. But remember, everyone is allowed a bogey race. Everyone can bounce back with a throwaway. 8 rounds of racing. It's going to be fun to see a full championship stretch out. Derek Karam also had his problems on his machine this time around to 7th place. Lucian Meyer, watch out for this kid. He's a rider on the up and up at the moment, and he squeaks a 6th place finish in a stacked gate of OR3 pro men. Cam Becker, last time he raced out here would have been around about 4 years ago. On an old KTM 350, now getting picked up by the Pepsi Plastics Kawasaki squad. Becker is starting to look like his old self, walking away with a number 5 ride. Tyron Beverly, he was very confident, and he told us in no uncertain terms, you have to have a hole shot. He didn't get the hole shot, didn't get the start that he wanted. And 4th place was the best that he could do on the day. Eric Merry coming back from horrendous injuries last season, and this was a good fight back. In fact, he was right there. Could have taken the win if it all went his way. This time around, though, had to settle for a 3rd place. Peter Karam looked like his old self as well. A ton of big, almost catastrophic crashes, and he's starting to come back to life. Karam in 2nd place, and really not far off the win as well. That win went to the whole shot superstar Blake Young. The UB Leisure Honda rider got his nose ahead and ran clear air. There was no looking back after that. Seems like he's figured out the 250. Historically, so many years on the high school 125 gate, and he just charged and ran big numbers. OR2 Pro, all about CD Goosen, now a fully fledged 2-wheel racer, 6th place and always inside the top 6, always making it on to the HollywoodHills show. He beat out on Marcel Swart, dropping him down to a number 7 ride. Gav Young switched out machinery this time around, getting off the 350 thumper and looked like a completely different rider, much more comfortable on his 250 smoker, riding on the Bikers Warehouse squad. Certainly gelled well with the machine. Worked for the tech and fast enough on the high-speed stuff as well. Himself and Stoffberger were all over each other in the early stages of the race until Stoffy Berger pulled the pin, got his nose ahead to squeak ahead, taking a number 4 finish. 1 or 2 mistakes out there. High five to the cameraman. And then play on. Seth Lilford gated in a number 2 spot, eventually dropping down. Didn't stay on the lead lap, only 3 laps under his belt. The top 2 riders stayed on the lead lap, showing that they had a better fueling strategy and form going into the second half of the race. The VW Mastercars Hatfield pickup in the off-season Carl de Toy, big surprise package. Absolute charger out there. 2nd place again. He is out there collecting a ton of points on this season's challenge. John Buerter, though, unstoppable, got himself inside of the top 5 overall and walks away with a big win in the OR2 Pros. Now we move forward into the big bangers, the OR1 Pro category races. Cosmos Mamalukas had his issues on the day. Really, no big problems on his machine, just the fact that there is a ton of tasty dudes on this queue in 2024. We said it before, 2024, the OR1 Pro category has the biggest name lineup that we have seen for around about 5 or 6 seasons. Brendan Kotzer had a good run of form going, not the gate that he wanted, so he got stuck down in the dust bubble. Couldn't climb any higher than 7th for the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad. Similar situation for Hayden Lowe. After a sublime ride at round number 1, couldn't get the cheese in round number 2. That dropped him down. Francois de Cruyff charging hard. 1 or 2 small mistakes in the tech zones, but still takes his Yamaha up there inside of the top 5. Needed that as well after his problems at round number 1. Wade Dent, after a good gate, eventually dropping down late in the race as well, putting 1 position between himself and JC Nienalber, the 2 Pepsi Plastics Kawasaki riders. Formation flying in the early part of the day until eventually Nienalber pulled the pin and got his groove going. He's one of those riders that gets faster as the race goes longer. The Den eventually taking a number 4, JC in a number 3. He did come on strong at the end, meaning fitness is not a factor for this kid. JC, a former multiple GXCC champion, knows how to approach these long championship seasons. So inside the top 2, the big 2-horse race, and these guys were never separated by more than 40 seconds out there on the course. Mike Pentecost was kept very honest this time around, but it did come down to whole shot racing. Round number 1 winner, Scotty Haygate. He had plenty for him, but just could not close the dust gap and make the pass, meaning that Pentecost on the UB Leisure Honda got it over on Scotty H on the brother factory leader tread KTM. Please, 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 I hope this championship carries on like this. This is great racing. You cannot make one mistake, otherwise your competitor is going to eat you. This time around, Pentecost good enough to hang on to it. He'll throw away the result at round number 1, but he needs the perfect season from here on out.
Mikey, nice way to bounce back, bud.
Yeah, really awesome, man. Flip, it feels good to be on the top again. I've been struggling for a bit, but tweaked the bike a little bit here and there since the National last weekend, and it's good to be on top. The Honda was running like an absolute beaut. So stable, so balanced. Yeah, can't wait for the next race.
Yeah, we knew coming to this place, I mean, we're not even in winter, but that was dust bowling.
Yo, that was hectic, Dusty. I feel bad for Scotty. He is behind me the whole race. I think, yes, it was a sucking dust day. Eh?
Tell me about your favourite bit of the track. Was it the tech or was it the wide open swinging off the back?
Swinging off the back, of course. Standard Pentecost style, man. It was awesome.
Scotty H, when you guys are running the same lap times, it comes down to whole shot, eh?
Yeah, I didn't get out the gates quite well today, and that's one of the things, and we'll go back and we'll work on getting those good starts again. But yeah, first lap put it down twice, so that didn't help me anyway. But yeah, Mike put together a really awesome 4 laps, and yeah. Anyway, that's one of the things. I'd just like to thank the whole Brother Leader Tread KTM team, RI, bike-wise, but yeah, everyone that's behind me this year, it's really awesome, and yeah, really chuffed to still be on the podium, and yeah, we'll see if we can continue doing all the GXCCs and see how the year and everything turns out.
Yeah, because obviously round 1, round 2, a win and a second place. You're obviously championship points leader, and you're running off the front at the moment.
Yeah, I think if that's the mass behind it and I'm still leading the championship, that's really cool, and yeah, it's always cool to still be at the top of the championship. But yeah, it's not just me who puts in all the work. The team behind the scenes put all the work and effort into me to put me in those positions. And yeah, just once again say a big thank you to the whole GXCC organization for putting on phenomenal events, well marked, safe, and yeah, really cool. I encourage as many people to come out to the next one, and yeah, it's really jaw.
Jace, it's a bit of a weird track, eh? You can't just hang off the back, you've got to do a lot of thinking on this one. How did that one go for you?
Yes, you got to work on this track. I must say, Vian made us work today. I could feel then the last lap starting to think the body is working. You got your mental focus, got to keep on it the whole time. But yeah, I had a average start, mid-pack. Worked my way through the dust, struggled for 2 laps to make passes. But yeah, third in class. I'm very happy with that, and yeah, good day.
You can see what this year is going to be. This is going to be a tough championship this year, you know it.
Yeah, I know for sure. I'm getting married next year, next week, sorry. So obviously she says, no broken bones, don't hurt yourself, calm down. But you know, we switch off the buttons when we start there. But yeah, all in all, I'm happy, and the competition is good. Hopefully the next one I can get a better start, less dust, and yeah, see what I can do.
Hey Johnny B, a win, but you look like you've seen a ghost, man. How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, yes, I'm tired, eh? I gave it my all, and yeah, I'm happy with the day.
Whole shots, I mean, you ran off the front there, but obviously you got into the OR1 traffic quite early.
Yeah, the OR1 guys were fast, and I tried to catch them. Only caught them on the last lap now, but yeah, made it work.
Tell me about the track. Did it suit your style? Are you enjoying it? And are you getting comfortable now on the 350?
Yeah, comfortable on the bike. Enjoyed the track. And yeah, just thanks to all my sponsors.
Blakey, great to hang with you last year when you were on the smokers, and now you look like you figured out the 250, hey?
Yeah, the first few races, it took a bit of adjusting to get used to setting up suspension, but now I think we found something that finally works, and this bike is a beast. It really moves nicely, so I'm super happy. Yeah, the results come, and they came.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell me about the competition, because I mean, top 3, all of you covered by 1 minute. That's tight, man.
Yeah, no, there's really nothing in it at this point. It's about getting a good start and then keeping pace. Yeah, it's really close.
Obviously, you're going to say that the track suited you, but did it suit you? Because it was a pretty gnarly one, eh?
I don't think it really suited me. I think I ride a lot of the small rocks, so I was doing well in that. But the faster stuff, I don't really like it, and it was a bit fast. But yeah, you just had to hang cable, and yeah, it was a good day.
Hey Peter, good to see you back firing on all cylinders, and that was almost a win, eh? It probably feels like one to you right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yes, that was hard. First thing I can say, but yeah, definitely feels like a win. Struggled to find a rhythm the first 2 laps, so I think I still have a bit of scaredness in me, and yeah, don't want to go down hard again. Yeah, but the last 2 laps managed to catch them, and yeah, I'm actually impressed with myself. Didn't think that was going to happen, but yeah, just would like to say happy birthday to this guy today. I hope he had a lacquer present. I thought I could get the win for him, but no, it was too little.
Merry man, I know it wasn't a win, but at least it was a lacquer dice.
Yeah, it was good. Peter caught me at the end of the race. I was a bit tired. I'm not used to the long hours anymore. But I think it's a good start. It's a really good confidence booster for me, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the year.
In the pro categories, let's confirm then Magic Mike steps on top. Once again, Scotty H in second place, but Scotty remains the championship leader as he beat out on the day ahead of Nienaber, Den and de Griff. OR2 pros, there's no stopping John at the moment. John Buerter beating out on Carl de Toy, Seth Lilford, Steph Berger and Gav Young, one of his best rides of the season so far, beating out on Goosen. OR3 pro, Blake Young, congratulations, your first GXCC win, beating out on multiple champion Karam, Mary, Beverly and Becker. So that was Rysmierbult. We get ourselves ready to roll forward just 1 month later into round number 3. We are heading out there into the classic race venue of Babsfontein, but Rysmierbult once again delivered the goods. We'll see you on the line at round number 3. So like we said, we're wrapping up shop here at Farm Jam. It's been an amazing one. We go straight into edit, so watch out, because next week's show is going to be all about what went down here and what's going to be talked about for years as a brand new favorite venue. Stay tuned.